What?
I'm telling you, it's different.
What?
It's so different. I'm telling you, you can't even go through the new content door anymore because it's different. I'm telling you, everything's
What time
changed.
is it?
It's all different, bro. Yeah, does anyone know what time it is truly? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything exactly. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Yeah. Sure. I've adjusted all the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do. And now the job's over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data I can on you, and I still don't really know who you are. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm going to be totally honest, the clock doesn't have anything to do with the game. It doesn't do anything in the game anyway. So you won't have me here when the game starts next time, but it's okay. No, I'm going to miss you. Video games weren't meant to be played alone.
You're meant to be.
Wait, no they weren't.
You like being alone, don't you?
No. What? That's maybe the only information I can really learn. I really learned about you. Yeah. Well, it's time for me to leave. There is still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before we can get to it. It's not really my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again if you can find me. Okay, narrator, we'll find you. We'll find you, young narrator Chan.
What?
I told you it's different. It's different now.
Begin the game. Did you put the next disc
Look,
in?
trust me, it's different.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Happy birthday to my favorite niece.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number
Head for the balloon.
427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the key. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and more. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-burning, Stanley relished every moment that it was in, as though he had been made exactly.
Relished?
He loved the orders.
Was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Oh, that's what you think.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company.
Look, happy birthday, happy 12th birthday.
Complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen,
Which is weird that you would have your
Stanley
niece's
found
12th
himself unable
birthday
to
in your
move for
office.
the longest time.
Like, you're not at
As he came to his
McDonald's
wits
or
and he
anywhere
gained
like
his
that
senses,
for your
he
niece's
got
12th
off his
Whose
birthday.
birthday
desk
was it?
and stepped out of his
Someone's
office.
niece, look. Read what it says on the balloon.
It could be the 12th anniversary.
No, look, read the balloon. Look, trust me. Like, 12th anniversary would be weird too, but this is pretty weird. Like, who brought their 12-year-old niece to this office? To the mind control
All of
facility.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Look, read the balloon.
Please, are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Happy birthday.
5 times?
Happy 12th birthday, Stephanie.
Stepniece.
Yeah, so someone bought their
And why would you
stepniece.
have it Stepniece on the balloon?
And how many stepnieces are there that they're printing this many balloons?
Now suppose you would have clicked the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that
We
warrants...
already did this, no, don't worry about that.
Yeah, okay, good.
We did it though, I did it. I did it properly, I found door 416, it was impossible. Yeah, see, now it's back. Look, we can't go through the content door. Where's the new content? There's no new content, we're out of it. You just get the same old boring game.
Two open
Left?
doors. He entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, it's new, trust me. It's brand new. Never seen before footage.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
No.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the open passageway.
You don't get to dance to the new age music. Okay?
It was relaxing though.
Too bad. Dance to something else. Alright, let's go down.
What if I had headphones in?
Yeah. What's this?
That's Stanley.
Found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Great. Gotta go on the dump again. Just great.
Next time, go through the right door.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number.
But we know this.
Stanley's code.
It's repeating the
The
same
lives of
shit
so
you're gonna
many
do.
individuals reduced to
No, next time we gotta go through the right door.
One of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
There's nothing different.
Yeah, press options. Begin the game again.
No.
Go through the right door.
Why?
Because we have to.
Why?
Because we haven't seen what's on the other side of it. And there's more options than just doing this one ending. Right, go. Right door.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, go through the right one. Go through, yeah, go that one.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the
Yeah, go
meeting room,
straight.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah, good.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, I do. Let's go. Yeah, it's a good room. Alright,
Truly a
now
room
go
worth
quick.
admiring. It had really been worth the detour of, but eager to get back to business,
No.
Stanley took the first.
No, we're going
door
straight. No,
left.
shut up. No, we're not going left. Yay!
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't.
Alright, now this time go up that ramp. Yeah, and then look down to your left. And we're going down there. Yeah. Do it.
Across?
No, go onto that.
Eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do.
But now you know where to go.
Stanley left from the platform and
Go do it again.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Stop it. Didn't it say we'll have to find the narrator again?
You know how I like it when seals clapping, they're like,
No.
no.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
They're just ocean dogs.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Ooh,
Because Ethan's going up. He's just walking up. So if you do want anything, just look quickly, let him know.
yeah.
Okay, ciao.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know,
Chocolate
there
and
really
lollies.
must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini Stanley figs? Oh, what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
A Stanlerine. A Stanley figurine. Alright, let's figure this out now. Where can we go down here? I feel like we've won.
What chocolate do you want, Liam?
Stanley had not gotten himself so far off the beaten
Probably like
path
top
that
deck.
it seemed the officer begun was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the officer begun was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the officer begun
Yeah,
was
should I
so
send
far
you
off
the
the
money?
beaten path that it seemed the officer begun was so far off the
It's like
beaten
$7.
path that it seemed the
The
officer
big one.
begun was so far off
Get the
the
fucking
beaten
big one and get the... No, I don't know if he's going to want to carry all that. He's probably just going for one beer.
that it seemed the officer
Maybe
begun
not.
was so
Well, I
far
don't know.
off
I'll
the
just
beaten
go up later, because... Fuck carrying all that back, bro.
No.
No, because trust me, Alana, think about Ethan.
Yeah, you
He's
can
got
carry it in a bag. What, 1 block of chocolate and 1 pack of lollies? Oh my gosh, he's gonna die!
No, but
Like you've
I guarantee he won't win it, bro.
Really?
No, he won't.
Yeah, you would have said yeah. Done.
Did he already? Okay, alright, fine, fucking. And then get the,
Overreaction.
get the sour squirms, bro.
That it seemed the officer begun
There you
from
go.
so far off the beaten path. That it seemed the officer begun from so far off the beaten path. That it seemed the officer begun from so far off the beaten path. That it seemed the officer
Wait, what?
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording. It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending
Hey,
waterfall
don't
of
fucking
surprises
patronize
and
me,
delights.
alright? I like Shutter
How much more
Island.
exciting you must find
And it wasn't in the character's head, they implanted the memories.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your...
No, fuck you, man. Bro. Trying to say that I like movies where it was all a dream. No, I don't. I like it better when it's not the dream and then everyone else is actually crazy. Yeah.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, fuck that. Oh, wait, I forgot my bucket. Look. Here, grab this. Grab it.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms. A
Yeah.
wave of comfort rushed through him.
Yeah, here's my bucket. I feel good now. My little bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Yeah. The bucket's telling me to do things. I like him. He's a good bucket. Can I get a coffee? Nothing to do here. I think I found a window as well.
Bucket was a great...
Oh no, I was going to say something.
Bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left.
God
The
damn
bucket was
it.
going to say something.
Alright, well here, I'm going to do this first and then I'll
And so the two
reload.
of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Oh, have you been down here?
Yeah. This is where he goes crazy normally. I'm just trying to see if it's any different now that I have the
Good
bucket.
Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place adventurous.
Oh look! Oh Anna, look, this is different. Look, play it. Here, figure out this room for me.
Okay.
Oh, I slay myself sometimes.
Always ends up cooked. But the tiny bit where the apple pie is always ends up raw. And it's...
There is a place called...
I've never been able to have an apple pie that I can...
That's tremendous.
And then I tried one time actually like cooking.
Sorry, my friends.
And then stuffing it.
Poor little Tilly, she's just trying to make apple pies. Hey, look at her jacket.
In the middle, like how do they
Yeah.
like cook in that middle bit?
She's trying to...
Is this you? Is this you right now?
No.
To show you and with banana and Nutella, I think that was actually
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
So, number one thing, if you think it's the right pastry for the bottom, like puff pastry, keep using it. Try again. Try again. I know that's... But this time, what degrees are you cooking it at? Because if you're doing it too high, the outside could be cooking, but the inside might not be cooking. You know what I mean? And then... Stop fucking... Why is there a big baby poster in the room?
Because he's our friend.
Oh, that's so weird.
No, he's a big baby.
I'm currently playing this game. It's complete mind control. I do not like it. Anyways, so cook it for longer time.
Look at that wacky line.
Cook it
Where it'll go
longer,
off to
but
next. Oh, and it
on a
plays
lower
some
heat,
music as well.
so that it heats the whole pie up over a long duration of time, hoping that the middle cooks as well as the outside slowly.
This is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
I think I figured it out.
The Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now. The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and... The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Ah, good riddance. I'll never let go of my bucket. Trying to take my bucket away from me. What do you think this is, Portal? What do you think this is, the companion cube? Yeah, this is my bucket.
How wonderful. Stanley wasn't alone. Finally.
Also, I just looked it up and I
he
think
thought to
that
himself,
what
this is what I've wanted
usually
all along.
used for like an
I
apple,
got the confusion and the
an
chaos
apple crumble
all
kind of
seemed to
thing.
melt away as Stanley
is
embraced the bucket.
short crust. So kind of like shortbread. I don't know. Short crust pastry? I don't know.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered that this was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday to you.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to jump, but finally the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley's addicted to drugs and hookers.
Exactly like this. But if you want to do that, I'm going to have to do something else.
Oh, bro, this game. This game is like Portal without the mechanics. Like, if you don't really want to figure out the portals.
I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Oh fuck! I really don't want to do this.
Make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley.
No, fuck you,
It also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though
Can you unplug him?
part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Is there a plug to unplug him?
Can you guess what the
Yeah,
Bucket
check that. What is
Destroyer
it?
does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Alright, I guess put the bucket in.
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then put it into the machine when you're ready.
I don't want it. I don't want to get rid of the bucket. He's my friend.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't
Oh,
know
press
the
that.
bucket destroyer
What does it do? Press the button.
can't destroy your bucket.
Press the button.
Buckets, it's
Oh
always
fuck!
enables.
Oh,
That
they don't
is
do
the
anything. God
secret
damn it!
personality
Alright, let's chuck the bucket in, I guess.
I can hear you say, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
I won't let you. There's no bucket destroying.
Destroyer. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you. Tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it's gone now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Okay, I'll miss you, Bucket Destroyer. I think we're getting a call. Look, we got a call. Oh, we got a call, look.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Good. Thanks for the warning.
But that was a recorded message.
Yeah. Don't trust them.
Just turn the computer off.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
You're gonna turn all the computers off. Ooh. Input received. Or 28.
Yeah, I still want to get in there.
I wonder if there'll be a bunch of bombs in there.
Yeah. It's just a bro. It's
A
a
big battle weed.
no. It's just a hotbox in there. It's the local hotbox room.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No, fuck that.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Have a try with you, babe.
I love Mom.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Was that your last try?
I guess it was.
Fuck.
Here, look, we're in there.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most true.
Hey!
Here in the employee lounge.
Today's
Perhaps
verse
it's
is
the only
ridiculous.
place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee
Today's verse of the
lounge
day.
shared a special
Some
connection.
trust in chariots and some in horses.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone,
said the bucket. This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
They took the bucket from me. Look, where is it? Here, you play it. Look, find my bucket. If you can't find my bucket, bro, I don't know what I'll do. I'll be a bucketless son of a bitch, is what I'll be. Do you know the bucket man? Oh yes! Oh, thank God. Take me with you to work, yeah.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
No. I like you, bucket. Yeah, take him back.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well?
Oh, there's a
to
bucket.
see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object?
No, get
I
the
want to
bucket.
say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Yeah, I don't care. Give me the bucket. I love this bucket. This bucket has become my life.
Go back to what?
Yeah, take the bucket though.
I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket.
No, it isn't. It's more than a bucket. He's my friend.
All I'll ever truly do for you is
Stop it.
transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
No, wait, give me my bucket.
It doesn't do anything else.
Liar. This is my bucket. Listen to the bucket. Yeah, don't listen to the loud man. Give me that there.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket.
Yes, give me the bucket.
Once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now, all
Don't
he
listen
cares
to him.
about
Give
is
the bucket.
awful bucket.
No!
Stupid hunk of metal.
No, this is my bucket. Give me my bucket.
Where's my bucket?
He's on the bench. Yeah, get that bucket. Yeah, ignore anyone in your life except for me. Yeah, good.
Sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore.
Yeah.
From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket. This
Look, he's
sort
on
of
the pewter now. Look, I love this bucket. Yeah, pewter bucket.
This bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah, let's take. Yeah, I believe it. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley?
Yes,
Yes.
I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say?
It's
Sturdy,
beautiful.
more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
It's really good at. Yeah. Yes, I will. You are my bucket forever, bucket.
Always saying, better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? having feelings. For the bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand.
It's a nice bucket.
If I had a bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
No.
Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Close your eyes. Oh, thank God that's over. He's never taking my bucket. Okay, no worries, bucket. I love you, bucket.
I don't like this.
Okay, that was the bucket ending. I appreciate the bucket. Let's get the bucket again.
Where is he?
Oh, he's in the next room. The bucket.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Yeah, go back to the computer, see if there's more orders. Because he's saying that there's more orders on the computer. He said that the orders would never stop, so like let's double check that they haven't.
No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Okay, no phone ringing either.
My bucket's missing.
No, we'll find the bucket, don't worry. Just keep going. And there's the bucket. Yeah, get that bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled.
Yeah.
He'd never be alone again, not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
Oh, it gets bigger. Now we've put in 2 inputs. See, now that's 2 inputs. If we get 3 more... Yeah, see, that just turns those ones off, but the one that's like input received, keep putting it into the input one. But no, I think you have to wait every, like, when it restarts, yeah. Alright, we can go on the left this time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh! How to find them.
Trust the completionist instinct.
Where to find them?
Small floating objects have appeared across the outburst. We have to... Can you tell you've spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? Fig leaves are hard to find. Follow clues provided by employee 416. Okay. Red room. Oh gosh.
Good luck. Thank you.
416.
What does that one say?
There will be a reward for finding them all.
There will be a reward. Even though he's told us that there won't be, there is going to be one. So we have to trust employee 416.
Someone in here.
No, but let's stay in this room for a bit.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with...
What about that other bucket?
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. No. We're getting into names. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the...
Oh no, let's go downstairs. Fuck that, yeah. This is the crazy ending. Yeah, this is the really crazy ending. Let's do it. This is the... Yeah, we found one.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines. And now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figures. What do you think, Stanley? What name better
Figly's like a figurine
intrinsic
Stanley.
sense of
A
happiness
Figly.
that you get from seeing
Or a
small number in
Stanlerine.
the corner of your screen go up by one? Let me sit on it. I'm
Figly
sure
or a
it'll come to me.
Stanley.
Yeah.
Neither.
Figly?
Can't you just call it a Stanley figurine?
No, it's a Figly.
A fugly.
A
It's a
fugly
fugly.
Stanlerine.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
Who stole my bucket?
Surely no good would come from this.
Where's my
Who
bucket?
knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of
What happened to the bucket?
Indeed, now he noticed that the wounds were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. Now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special
Wait,
bucket.
try it. Wait, grab one.
Stanley, find me!
Wait, which one's the
He had to
bucket?
find the bucket. He had
Oh
to
my
return
God.
to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then
Which bucket?
froze dead in his tracks. He
Oh,
knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful.
we have to pull it out.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
We can find the bucket.
He's gotta pull
We just have to.
bucket out of
Of
himself.
a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
She stole that bucket.
Her walk
Now
was
we're dead.
interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Where's my
Right
bucket?
away, she knew what the problem was.
Yeah,
This
he didn't
man
have it.
had no bucket.
Yeah.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
She backflipped all the way to work with her bucket. See, life's better when you have bucket. I trust life with this bucket now. Give me the bucket back.
Ew.
All of his co-workers were
Mom,
gone.
scared
What could
friends.
it mean?
I had a
Stanley
party.
decided to go
Shit,
to the
not gonna
meeting room.
flush.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fuck, Charlie.
That's tremendous.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Do you know what's in here?
Oh, what? Look at this. Look. So what? Whoa. I think we busted it.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
That was different.
Hello.
We can go back.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
We're gonna find these,
Coming to the staircase,
He accidentally got these cells
upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, good. So I kind of like these cells squads.
Oh! A Stanley, a Figley!
Close now, Stanley.
We got him! Oh, Figgler and the rings! Figgler and the rings! Stanley Figgler rings!
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we've got
5 of them now.
You had no Figgler and the rings.
Figgler and the ring left. One more Figgler and the ring, please. Oh, Figgler and the rings.
Wait, go back.
Oh, yeah, what did it say? Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp.
What? Go back, what's in the other door? Oh, it's just shut.
Yeah, it's the way back. Oh, input! 3. 3 out of 5.
Did you do it?
Gosh, we're gonna get it.
Stepping into his manager's office,
So
Stanley was
exciting.
once again stunned to discover not an indication
Oh, I
of
thought it
anything
said stoned.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
Yes.
It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley
I love this
guessed that
bucket.
the right sheer lock. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes, it's the bucket.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
I love the bucket. The bucket makes everything better. This game would be nothing without this bucket now. I can't even remember the time when I didn't have the bucket.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
You want some top deck? You don't want any top deck?
Wait, look, it's top deck.
My fucking top deck.
Bro, that's savage. I can't believe they fucking did that.
I can't believe he did that to his hair. Gave himself top deck.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I'll try showing
What
you.
happened last time?
Right, let's try this way. There's the bucket.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Oh, not the bucket. No. You are not hurting my bucket.
But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
Nothing threatens my bucket.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What a horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Oh, I think it's on the floor. When it fell out of your hands.
The monitors jumped into life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything...
The bucket almost cried. The bucket was gonna cry.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
No.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Great, amazing things, and it wasn't tricked. No, this bucket is independent and autonomous.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it.
Yeah.
His own life in someone else's control, never!
Yeah, this bucket...
Squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
This is true. Come, bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Come with me. Come on, sir.
Well, we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Do I have to?
Yeah, and you have to go up or down. Yeah, we'll go up to heaven. I've never been in this before. Oscar, we're going to get the last Stanley. We're going to find the last Stanley, Oscar. We've got our bucket. Man, I love this. Look at this elevator, bro. Bucket, elevator. We got it. Stanley rings. We got 5 out of 6. We're going to get that Stanley, Oscar. And you're going to look like a little nugget, man. Yeah, little Elmo. Real life Elmo.
No, you can't give him popcorn, Liam.
Oh, sorry.
No, they're not allowed it. Because it's got stuff that can choke them. And Billy was choking.
Yeah, she ate a popcorn.
You were the one who gave her the popcorn.
Yeah.
So don't. Because I don't want him to choke.
Don't choke, Oscar.
No more.
No more, Oscar.
Could you?
Here, do you want some red licorice, Oscar? Just like half.
No! There's no more, Oscar. See, now you've got him anticipating. He wants more, but there's no more through the
Just
last
like
one.
with water.
No!
Wait, you stole his popcorn.
He's not allowed it, Liam.
This is by far the most funnest elevator ride I've had. Okay, it didn't go anywhere.
Oscar, I just need you to be. I just need you to. Oscar. I just need you to work with me. What is it? He doesn't want it.
Okay, guess what? The elevator didn't go anywhere.
Fabulous.
You never would have thought.
Yeah. Bosky, I've got something for you. What's this?
Yeah, do you want to say do you want a little, a bright crawler, Oscar?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him
You feel
always.
sick?
The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Do you feel infected?
Look at that.
Yeah, why don't we give that to Oscar? Oscar would eat one. Except those are ostrich eggs.
No, they're not.
Yeah, look how big they are.
No.
No.
No, look, they're just normal ones.
Why would Oscar eat an egg? Oi, let's cook some eggs for
Stanley and the
Oscar.
bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Or should we cook Oscar an egg?
Downstairs, on an enormous room packed with television screens. What a horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Bro. Let my intrusive thoughts win. It's like just flying. What? Psh. Oscar, please. You did not give him a raspberry one, lady.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Oscar wants some top deck.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things did it want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raised furiously in Stanley's mind. No! To the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Oscar, just let me. Oscar.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Yes.
The bucket of betrayal like this.
The bucket was
Stanley
right.
was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Would you like an egg, Oscar?
Silly
I'm done.
birds.
Let's watch
The
Gundam.
control buttons became
Yeah, can you make Oscar an egg?
Can you come watch Gundam in my room? I'm done with this.
Yeah, watch JoJo.
Gundam.
Mm.
Let's go.
No, you have to finish JoJo first. Wait, what kind of seagulls do you want to look at? Look, silly birds, which ones?
The other ones.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Wow.
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. At the bucket
Come
now,
on.
But look at these
Stanley
birds.
marveled at the metal genius in his hand,
I'm done
the
with
one
this
who had
thing.
pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Let's go. No, he was not. Let's go.
Look at the toucan.
Come on.
We didn't see the birds.
I'm going to bed if you don't.
You haven't even seen the infinity hole.
I'm done. I can't. It's too much for one night.
Alright, put on JoJo.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Alright, Bucket, are you ready? Me and Bucket are going to make it through the escape.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read,
No, we didn't, Bucket.
Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Worth it. Let's go, Bucket. We can make it
The
out.
door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No, we've made up our mind, Bucket.
At
We're
this
doing
point,
it.
Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Let's go, Bucket. Let's go. Come on, Bucket. Come on. Come on. Come on, Bucket. Come on. Nothing can hurt us, Bucket. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. Don't worry about it, Bucket.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself.
No, I didn't.
Kicked
The bucket
himself
does
for
help
wasting
me.
so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
No, the bucket is
Farewell,
good.
Stanley.
Thank you, Bucket. It was all worth it. Thanks, Bucket.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Thank you, Bucket.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The human mind is frequently empty within, and a cavernous void, but through the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit, or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? No, the bucket is life.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
That's true, no one can control a bucket. This is a very intense bucket. Oh, how do I get to you? You're so high up, so high even. The bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year dozens are put to death just for attempting it. The double handle bucket, Buckets, a photograph of 25 buckets, and the greatest number of buckets has ever been captured on camera. The photographer experienced a catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. Yeah, that's 25 buckets, exactly 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 25. Yep. This is correct. Alright, what have we got over here? The stress bucket and agony, worrying, negative, forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance, vulnerability, size and strength of the bucket, coping strategies holes, rest, relaxation, doing something you enjoy, rest and relaxation, stress, the level of water in the bucket of stress presented without commentary. Thank you. How many billions did you kill? Billions died, yeah. Good job, Infernal Bucket. It's true. Humans have enjoyed buckets for a long time. Cave drawing. Well, we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind. We do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts the earliest man's discovery of practical uses of bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judgment and having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. This is true. Thank you, bucket. such a wondrous bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
You see how the hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. No. Give me the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket should take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. The embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What a horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley quavered in gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply... The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yeah, good,
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment. Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question.
Oi, quick, we're gonna get all the Stanlerines. The
You all Stanley Larry.
We're gonna get the Figler Stanlerines.
Item...
No,
Wait, hold on, I
Liam,
can't
come
find my
in. We're
next one.
watching
Let's see, it should be around
No,
my
I've already
feet.
got all the Figler Stanlerines. You missed it.
Well, that's just...
No, you should have seen how exciting it was. We got to say what is and isn't a bucket.
Okay, you and I
What's in
both
a bucket?
know there isn't
No.
anything here.
But do you know
And I
what a
don't
bucket?
appreciate
What is a
implications
bucket and
nothing
what's
is a
not a bucket?
When we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing
Yeah,
could
exactly.
possibly be something.
Come
Unless, in
in.
your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing?
No, you haven't even finished JoJo.
Do you believe that
Liam.
nothing is a bucket?
And we haven't finished Stanley.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.